What's happening, people? Welcome back to the Sound Design channel. My name is La, and today we're going to look at this Melodic Techno style lead. So let's dive into the sound and then I'll show you how it's made. Really cool sound. I'll just show you in Kontakt. Yeah, really interesting sound. It's all made with DIVA, and there's a little bit of processing afterwards that you can see down here at the bottom. All right, so let's have a look at the sound in DIVA. So what I did is I grabbed a MIDI file from the Circle Volume 2 pack. This is the Melodic Techno pack through PML, and I grabbed I was just flicking through the different sounds with this MIDI information that I had. This is what's quite good with the pack. It comes with a lot of MIDI information that you can kind of mix and match with different sounds. So there's like all these MIDI information here. So yeah, that's what I did. I found a melody that I liked, and then the sound that I liked was this LD Mighty here, and this is what it sounds like. So that's with none of the processing on, right? So let's have a look what's going on with the sound. It's mostly quite simple from here, but there's a little bit of magic going on with the LFO here, which I'm going to get to. But if we look here at the oscillators, we have two oscillators that are being used. So we got the volume all the way up on the first oscillator, which is just a sawtooth, and then the second oscillator is a kind of square-y pulse width thing, and the volume is like a little bit less than halfway on that one. So we're mostly hearing this sawtooth coming through. Turn this off. This is the sound of this oscillator here. It's got that kind of square feeling to it. I'll turn that off and then put this one up. A little bit more aggressive with the sawtooth. And with them both together, it gives that kind of feeling. The other thing that we've got going on is a little bit of noise, not too much, just a little bit here, and that's all that's going on with kind of like the voicing of the sound. So if we come over here to like the filters and the movement, so we have the filter quite low down, but then it's being opened up with envelope 2 and with LFO 2. So envelope 2 is just this very plucky shape. We have a very quick attack, small decay, and no sustain, and a little bit of release. So without this, that's just us listening to the sound of the sustained amp envelope or envelope 1. So it's just staying open as long as the notes are being played, and has a very quick attack and then a little bit of release. So it's still this kind of like plucky shape. But there's a little bit of movement going on with it as well. So we'll just put this back. See, that adds that aggression, but the movement is coming from this LFO 2. So take that away. See, it's quite plain in a way. It doesn't really have that special, like, unique tone to it. That adds so much life to it. So we need to look what's going on with this LFO 2. And this is something I've not actually done before, but I really like the idea of it. And so what's going on with the LFO 2, if we look down here, we have this triangle shape, and it's synced, and then it's on this quite slow timing, just 1/1, and then the rate is actually being slowed down even more. But then the rate is being modified by velocity, so it's 100% being affected by it. So and it's being increased. Sorry, so the rate is being increased. If we slow it down, the movement is a lot slower, with the rate being quicker. There's times where it's like if the velocity is very aggressive, I'm pressing very hard on the notes there, it speeds up the LFO quite quickly. And then if you press lightly, oh, so you hear that it's got this slower movement in it. It's a really cool effect to do. The other thing that we have polarity on, so that it means that the LFO is only going to be going in one direction, so it's going to be going up the whole time. But you could have it where it goes both ways. So it's going, essentially it's doing like this. All right. The problem with this, or it's not really a problem, it depends on how you're using it in your track, is that sometimes it might be too deep and that you can't actually hear the note that's being played because it just goes too far. Maybe it goes like past here. So that's why sometimes it's better to have the polarity on. So it constantly opens the sound up instead of closing it down. So yeah, that is kind of the magic that's going on with this sound, right? There's nothing else that's too complex. There's a little bit of glide going on.
Hi, this video is sponsored by us. If you like these tutorials and want to support the channel, check out our website packed with online courses and professional sample packs. Also check our ready-to-use and club-tested DIVA presets. You can browse by the genre and style you're looking for, or get the incredible deal with the full DIVA preset bundle. Thank you for listening, and now let's get back to your tutorial.
The other thing to look at here is the voices and the stack. So with the voices, we are stacking the sound by 8 times, or it's going to cycle through 8 different voices here. If you come to the trimming, you can actually see it cycling through the voices. And what we have here automatically with DIVA, we have the voices that on each of the oscillators are slightly different. There's a very small movement on each of them. You can see here, so it means that they're just going to be a little bit unique every time it cycles through one of the voices, but not by a lot. But you can then increase that amount if you want it to be quite drastic. So if you put the detune amount high and the voice drift up, which is a pretty cool sound. It sounds really good, but you got to be careful with everything else in your track that it doesn't sound so detuned that it sounds horrible. And the other thing is that the voices are then being stacked by 3, so it means there's a very high chance of them being very different, as there's multiple voices there that are being added together. That is it. That is all that is going on with the sound. We have a look at the modifications. There's nothing going on here. Nothing has changed, and we just have a little bit of reverb and delay. So without the reverb and delay, it does sound pretty dry. I think there's a little bit of reverb somewhere else. Yeah, I have some reverb on the return channel, but that's it. But yeah, if we take that away. So it does need that. It really does need the effects to kind of just bring it into the stereo field and add this atmosphere to it. Really, really cool sound. So I just go over the processing that I've done. You may not want to add this processing to your chain. You might just want to leave it as it is. But for me, I've got this big bass in here. And so that bass is taking care of the low frequencies there. So the first thing that I did is I EQ'd a lot of the low frequencies out. So I'm just getting this kind of high end here. Then after that, I wanted it to have a little bit more drive and grit. So I added an overdrive. And then we've got rectifier, which is just a saturator preset. It's like very aggressive. I'll just turn it up so you can hear. I just want a little bit of that. Okay, 12%. And I think it even comes with the drive at like 15. So I took that down a little bit. It was a bit too much. And then I put another EQ because we want to make sure we're not adding too much low end with these effects here. So I just EQ'd it again. And then a utility, which is probably not doing anything. Yeah, just bass mono. So if there's anything that's at 120 hertz, it's going to be in mono. So it makes it more mono compatible. And then we got a little bit of compression just to control the peaks. And then a little limiter at the end. So it's just really controlling the overall volume. And then the compression, sidechain compression to the kick. All standard stuff there. So yeah, cool. I hope this was helpful for you guys. If you want to grab the sound, then it's in the DIVA Circle Volume 2 pack, which I'll link down below in the description. So yeah, thank you for watching this one, guys. If you enjoyed it, let us know in the comments. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you very much, guys. Catch you in the next one.